Hi, welcome back for a new episode. I said I might do a follow-up video, and I am. So first, the publication got approved. It took only 15 minutes for the game to become public. So that was really fast, and I'm glad it was accepted right away. And it was indeed accepted as a non-violent game. So I thought maybe I need to add a few things. I think I'd like to add some feedback to the player when they vote. Also to tell them that they have already voted and they cannot vote again for the same player in that session. And I thought maybe it would be cool to have, because right now the players are both inside this room, this box, this cage for a minute. And I thought maybe it would be cool to have some kind of spotlight that stays on one player, maybe the one on the left, and then after about 30 seconds, it switches to the other one. So to keep track of what we want to do, let's do it properly. Let's make lists. So give feedback to players when they press the vote button. And the other one is give visual hints as to which Joker should be telling their joke. And it's like I cannot force, I cannot turn on and off the mics of players. So kind of have to rely on players to do the right thing here. But I'm hoping maybe there would be a way to encourage one player to tell their joke first and then the other one. So what we could do is maybe have a message. I'm not sure how much I want to, that's kind of a game design question here. Like how much I want to push players to follow a schedule versus letting them be free to handle the time the way they want. But so yeah, at least I think maybe the light would be cool. And also telling the players, maybe also telling them when they have registered in the queue. You know what? Give feedback when player enters queue, including their position in queue. And then do I want to go even further and make it so that if their position in the queue is updated, like let's say they are position 5 in the queue and we have 2 players who go in, then maybe their position becomes 3 in the queue. So might want to do that too. Inform players when their queue position changes. So there's kind of not super specific tasks, like it doesn't tell you how to do them, but kind of small, the scope of each task should be small enough that it should be doable. Also, I'm wondering what prevents a player from joining the queue multiple times. Let's look at the code here. Maybe I'll add this also, check that player cannot join queue multiple times. Okay. So where am I? Oh, queue manager, voting device. Okay, so maybe I want to do this first. So the queue manager, yeah, when I just look at my code here, I think this is not correct. I think as it is now, the player, but when we remove a player from the queue, okay. So in a way, right now we don't really have a bug because we when two players get teleported into the box, we remove them from the array. And the way my code is now is like, even if the player have appeared, let's say 10 times in the array, each instance of that agent in the array would be removed. One thing that's curious is what prevents the same player for taking the first two spots. Because when the player is just trying to enter the queue, it just adds it to the queue. So the array could get long. So maybe the rest of the code here prevents that from happening. Let's see. In the case where the same player has pressed the button several times, it would be associated to agent A and agent B as well. I kind of want to test that. I'm going to launch a session. It's going to take a while. And then when I loop through them, I remove them from the queue. So the player could be, even if the same player is there twice or more than twice, it's going to be removed. And then I am sitting player A in the first chair, but potentially that same player might then be immediately seated in the next chair, and both maybe agent A and maybe agent B have the same agent as a reference. The timer would happen. So I believe right now, if I press the button twice, I should be, even though I'm a single player, I should be teleported inside. So it's a minor bug. Is it a bug or a feature? Like, do we want one person to be able to go in alone and tell their joke? Could be a feature, but it's not really the intent of my game here. So I'm gonna say it's a bug. So before I want to do this, I want to add the player to the queue only if the player is not already in the queue. So for this, I'm gonna loop through. Basically, I have an agent that is part of the queue. Sorry, for loop, and if agent equal in agent, then return. Okay. So what I'm doing here is like I'm looping through the queue, and each time I loop, I receive a variable called agent, which is going to point to one of these elements of the queue, and I'm going to compare it with the agent who just pressed the button. And so if any of these elements of the queue array is the agent, then I want to stop here. I don't want the agent to be allowed. So maybe I should have a message that says, dude, you're already in the queue. Already in the queue. I'm not going to compile this code because right now I want to test how it's working before. Oh, okay, let's try that. So press once. Still queue has less than 2, and then press again. Yep. So it says the queue has 2 players even though it only has 1. I mean, the 2 agents are actually the same person. Okay. That confirms it, that makes sense. So this code will fix this. And I should probably so I'm gonna use a HUD message device. HUD message, and that will be the one that I used to say already in queue. So it's of type HUD message device, initialized to a default HUD message device. And So yeah, if the agent is already in the queue, then we had message device, and we call the show function to that agent. So this agent would just press the button, will be told whatever is told in the HUD message device. So let's add one HUD message device, and this one is going to be HUD message for already in queue. Make that a little bigger here. And this will say you are already queued up, relax, just that, already queued up. And yeah, 5 seconds is plenty. Do I want it to play a sound? I don't know. I'm gonna leave the default settings for now. So that's when you're already in queue, and if you're not, can you say join queue, and this one will say you are now in queue to tell a joke. Okay. And what I might want to do is, instead of just giving that message, to give a different message that also tells you which position you are in the queue. So we're gonna have another HUD message device. This one is called joined queue. And so if we enter the queue, so yeah, let's do that. So if we enter the queue, we can tell the player that he entered the queue, HUD message, join queue, dot show agent. But right now, if I do this, it will just show the message I wrote here. And instead, I would like to add more information to that message, which means I need to change the content of that message. Message join queue dot set text. Yeah, set text. And then I need to give it a message. So a message is not fully a string of character. For this, the way to do it is to create a function that will convert a string to a message. That's kind of one of the oddities of using UEFN. The difference is, like, a string is just like a string of characters, and a message is more of a Fortnite object that I believe can be translated, even though I don't think we have ways to localize to translate our text yet. So anyway, so I'm going to create a function called string to message, S2M. And you need to give it the specifier localizes. It will take a string as an argument. So that's my argument called inString of type string. And it will return a message. And the value of it will be, so if I just do this, it converts these strings to a message. But I want to convert whatever I entered in the string here. So here I'm going to do S2M. Okay, so now I can actually type the message I want to type. So I would say you. Okay, so there's a. I only want to. Basically, I either want to say, if there's no one in queue, then the player will be teleported in right away. So then I would not want to say anything. But only if the queue has more than 2 players already, then you are queued up. So it's only if queue dot length is more than 2. Then we want to set the message to What would be a correct message? Like your position in the queue is, and then I want a number. So let's say I already have 2 people in the queue. So when I do, I also want to know, like, player entered queue. What do I do with this? Okay, we wait for it. Like, I'm just curious, like at this point in time in the code, what is the state of my queue? Yeah. So if the second player, let's say you already have 1 person in queue. Okay, actually there's another case as well. Like if the queue is empty, you're the first player to join in, then we say you are queued up, basically. So that's the case where, I'm gonna finish this later. If queue length equals 0, then the message should be you are now queued up. Waiting for second player. If you are the second person to join the queue, then the queue length will be 1 because there's already 1 person in it, and we should not give you a message. Instead, you should be teleported straight away. Okay. But if the queue already has 2 players, also the thing is, yeah, okay. What if you already have 2 players who are telling their jokes? Because as soon as we have found our 2 players, we remove them from the queue. So now the queue is empty. So maybe I should empty up the queue at the end. That might make things easier here. So this code is what, actually this whole code here, cleans up the queue. Should I do it at the very end? I guess so, maybe just before. Yeah, maybe before we leave this, so before we reset perhaps. I guess we can do it. It should work at the very end, I'm hoping. So we keep the players in the queue while they are telling their jokes, and only when after we kick them out, intermission is over. So during the intermission, they would not be allowed to enter the queue because they're still in the queue. But then the problem is, actually, I want to tell people, hey, you are number 1 in queue. Okay. Or should I use something else to know whether a round is ongoing or not? Maybe that's the way to do it. So let me undo this. Okay. Okay. So instead, I'm gonna use a logic variable, say is joke in progress, logic equal false. Okay, and it's a variable that I can change over time. So if we found we have our agent A and B, they're gonna set is joke in progress to true, and at the very end, maybe after the intermission, I don't know, for now I'm gonna put it at the very end, set is joke in progress to false. So if the queue is empty, I think when the queue is empty, we always are just waiting for the second player, so that's fine. If there's a queue of 1, else if queue.length equal 1, there's a difference. Like if we already have a joke in progress, then we want to wait and be queued up. So, and is joke in progress equals true. So in that case, we want to tell the agent that basically you are now queued up. Yeah, next in line basically. Queued up and next in line, something like that. Okay. So that's in the case where we're the second player to get into the queue, but there's a joke in progress. So else, but if the joke is not in progress, yeah, if the joke is not in progress, then we're just teleported into, we start telling our jokes right away, so we don't need a message. And now if the queue is at least 2, meaning that, or if there is a joke in progress, yeah. Yeah, so no matter the length of the queue, if there is already a joke in progress, it means you have to be queued up. Yeah. So if the queue is empty, you are now in queue waiting for another player or waiting for the joke to finish, but you don't need to know that. If you join a queue as a second person, then if there is no joke in progress, then you go in, otherwise. Oh, except if there's a joke in progress, then the queue would be, that's the case actually where we have 3 players in the queue. Oof. Maybe I don't need this at all anymore. Yeah, maybe this is not necessary. Because if you're the first one to join the queue, you need to wait for a second player. If you're the second one to join the queue, then boom, you have 2 players in the queue, they are teleported in right away. And if there's a joke in progress, but you're not the first one to join the queue, then you need to say you joined the queue and your position is blah blah blah. So I think this code is actually useless. Position in queue is, so it would be queue, oops, So we need to evaluate a value q.length. So -2, I guess. Because if a joke is in progress, we have 2 players in the queue who are inside. They are not out of the queue yet. So that should work. Yeah. Okay. So there are only 2 cases where we show a message. One is there's nobody in queue. We don't care whether there's a joke in progress or not, but nobody is waiting. Oh, actually, if a joke is in progress, then the queue will be of length 2. Shit. Okay, so if it's 0, it means that we are the first one in line, nobody else has queued up. If if it's 2 and joke in progress, it means that there are 2 people telling a joke and nobody else in the queue. So waiting for another player, let's say. And I made a typo to it. Okay. That should work. We'll see. And then, so each time we have a reset here, I might want to call a function that would be called update inform players. Oh wait, I'm silly, I'm stupid. Okay, sorry about that. I actually went back to my case where as soon as the joke is in progress, the queue is emptied. Damn it. Okay, back to the drawing board. So queue is 0. It could be that players are telling a joke. We don't know yet. So I don't think we need this. If queue is 1, so if queue is 0, it means that we have to wait. Maybe there's a joke in progress, maybe not. We don't know. We don't care. If queue equals 1, yeah, so hold on. If queue equals 1, it means that the first player is waiting and there's a joke in progress, then we need to tell that we're waiting. Okay. Yeah. I'm doing else because if one test becomes true, then I don't want to test for the rest. So I want to make this test only if queue length was not 0. So yeah, if it's 1 and joke in progress, that's the case where a second player joins, but yet we cannot, you're not queued up. And your position in the queue, you're not queued up waiting for joke to finish. Okay. Waiting for next round. Hold tight. And otherwise, if a joke is in progress, so you're not, it means that the queue is at least 2, probably. And there's a joke in progress, then we tell you your position in the queue. So basically, it would be queue length. It means that we already have at least 2 players in the queue. So let's say we only had 2. Actually, we added ourselves to the queue now. So queue length should represent our position. Let's say we are the third player to go in. Because we are the third, queue length is now, oh wait, I need to put that, because queue length will never be 0 because I added the player to it already. Okay. So I'm going to put that at the end for simplicity. So queue length plus 1. Okay. Because if you are the third player, queue length is already of 2. Length is 2. So we're in position 3 because we already have 2 players in the queue. And do that here. Okay. I think that will work. Hopefully. So I need to. My devices are here. Queue manager. Already in queue and join queue. So check that player can join queue multiple times. Done. Give feedback when player enters the queue, including the position in the queue. Yep. Should I inform players when their queue position changes? Why not? So this would happen, yeah, anytime new players are teleported in. And so we clean the queue, and then we should inform how do we call it? Alert players of queue position. Okay, that's a new function I'm going to need to create. Alert players of queue position. Okay. So yeah, I need to go through the queue. So it happens after the queue has been cleaned up. So I need to go through the queue and let people know what position they're in. So for agent in queue, actually no, I need to have an index. So index that will be of type int equal, it will start at 0 and go all the way to the queue dot length -1. Because if a queue has 3 elements, their elements are element 0, element 1, element 2. And if agent of type agent equals queue of index, so if we can indeed retrieve an agent at this place in the queue, then we need to tell the agent. That would be a lot of messaging. I hope it will work. To be telling your position in the queue is now, so it would be index +1. I don't want to tell them they're in position 0. Okay, so maybe what I should do is actually, if index is 0 or 1, it means that they are next in line basically. So if index is less than 2, aka it's 0 or 1, then we say something, and else we say this. Get ready, you are next in queue. Okay, so we set the message on the HUD message device to either get ready, you are next in queue, or to your position in the queue is now something, which will be 2, 3, 4 or more. And so after we set the text correctly, then we can show it to that particular agent. That sounds good. So yeah, I think that should do it. And give feedback to players when they press the vote button. So I need another HUD message. And maybe one that will be like, you have voted, and oh wait, that's different, that's for the vote. Yeah, yeah, okay. So this one be, thank you for casting a vote, and that could be called by either. And I need another message that will say, you cannot vote twice for the same player, for the same joke, I would say. Okay. Yeah. And this one will be, you have voted, you cannot vote twice. Okay. And this time that would be in the voting device. So I would have editable HUD message voted, type HUD message device equal HUD message device, and the other one is cannot vote twice. Cannot vote twice. Okay, so let's compile and connect this. Have voted and cannot vote twice. Okay. So now we need to actually push these messages. Okay. So in this case, the player is not allowed to vote again, which is when we want to tell the player, hey, you cannot vote again for the same joke. The message cannot vote twice. Show to the agent that just pressed the button to vote. And again, I'm not happy with this code that I have to do this copy paste. So yeah, in the case where we let the agent vote, we can say HUD message voted dot show to the player who has voted. Okay, I think that will work. Oh yeah, if voting is disabled, I might want to have another message saying voting is disabled, which happens during the intermission, I believe. And maybe then I would have another message that says voting disabled, and it would say you cannot vote at this time. Or this is not the right time. This is not. So I think that's during the intermission, or if there's nobody in line. Yeah, you cannot vote at this time. Why not? And so I need one more. Cannot vote now. How did I call voting disabled? I'm gonna call it the same. Voting disabled. Oops. Okay. And that will happen when voting is disabled. So then we do add voting disabled show to our agent that pressed the button. Okay. And let's compile and go back to our voting device and connect voting disabled. Okay. So hopefully that works. I might want these. We have 3 devices that should not show at the same time, I guess. But they're separate from the ones about queuing up. These ones are for queuing up. So I think I should put them on a different layer. Because what's happening is like the game will not let you. So we have layer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 different layers. And Fortnite will not let you show 2 messages on the same layer at the same time. But maybe instead of showing it in the bottom center, it should be top center. So messages for voting will be at the top, and queuing up will be about the, maybe it should be the opposite actually, bottom center for these two, and for queuing up it will be top center. Why not? And I should probably change the colors and change the sound and visual effects. That's more an aesthetic issue. Okay. Give player feedback when they vote. Okay, and now visual hints about who should be voting. So should I do a level sequence? Why not? It's probably in cinematics. So where is it? Sequence. Okay, cinematic sequence. All right, so that's the device that will play the cinematic sequence. And I will probably have to trigger it from verse. And here, I guess I'm in my prototype folder, which is weird. Foliage, no, let's make it, just gonna create it here, level sequence, ls for level sequence, and spotlight. I will add a light device, customizable light. I will parent it to the stage, which was this cube here. Okay, reset the location. There you go. And let's make this light a spotlight. And size, yeah, I'm gonna make it very dense to start. Okay. Let's see. It's not letting me choose the angle. Maybe I can do it. Spotlight. Angle if I do like 30. Yeah, that works. Cool. So what we could do is change. Yeah, maybe have it pointed here and then over time point it here, maybe. Okay. I'm not super experienced with cinematics, but let's try. I'm gonna close this for now. So I'm gonna add a track. I'm gonna add a customizable light, and I'm gonna access its transform. And let's see, so at the beginning, you can also access its, let's see, do I have timeline dim? Do I have a way to connect with the events to turn on and off? Maybe I could do enable and disable. Oh yeah, turn off. I'm not sure. Maybe I want to turn the lights on and off outside of this event. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, maybe the light would be turn on when the cinematic starts. Cinematic sequence device on. Oh, it only says unstopped. Okay. Okay. So maybe I'll do it from verse. We'll see. I'll figure that out later. For now, I'm gonna have the rotation here, and after one frame, I'm gonna change the rotation so that it's pointing here. I'm gonna just cue the whole rotation. Okay. And after 60 seconds, I want it to be on the other side. So right now, the length, if we're at 30 frames per second, it's going to be 30 times 60. Can I do that? Yes. And 1800. Okay. Oh. I'm not sure. Let's see, 8. I don't know. Okay, so at the very end, I want the light to be right there. Rotation. Okay. So if I play, yeah, it's gonna show the light. And maybe it's not good actually. Maybe what I want to do, yeah, maybe what I want to do is here. This should have been on 1800. That's weird. Okay. Maybe I want to do something in the middle. So at frame 900. At this point in time, oh, something is off here. Okay, I'll probably have to, let me see what's happening here. Okay, so when I start, so I just want to change the yaw, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. Strange. Okay, so the wall, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch the pitch either. Yeah, that's bad. So let's delete wall and pitch because I don't want to change them. I just want to change the yaw. I'm wondering if we have an issue with local versus global position here. So let's go. I'm holding control and using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. So let's go to frame, something here. Yeah, that's not right. So if I delete this, okay. So it's acting in the wall position, not what I want. So if I press this key here, okay. So it's actually the pitch that I want to change. Okay. So what do I want? I want let's just kind of redo it here. Okay, let's just delete this. Just delete all of that. Okay. So in the very beginning, sorry, when I'm on frame 0, I will want the pitch to be, it sounds like it's -50, so I'm going to keyframe this. Then by the time we're almost halfway through, let's say, I don't know, let's say maybe a second before the middle, 870, I would want the pitch to be, yeah, maybe 10, like this. Okay. It seemed like it did keyframe it automatically for me. And then when I'm at halfway point, I want the pitch to be on the second player. And then at the very end, a little bit before the end, let's say 1770, in the last second. Am I doing it wrong? I might want the thing to be back in the middle. Okay. And this, I think, was an artifact. Okay. So if I go here, so at first I'm starting on player A, slowly moving. Oh, I messed up. Okay. So the pitch is 50, goes to -60. Interesting. So maybe it should be +40. Nope. Shoot. Okay. I see. So actually, I would want it to be like this until the end almost. Okay. We're having an issue here. What did I do? Okay. Okay, I'm having an issue with the angles. Let me figure that out. I'm gonna pause for a second. It's gonna be really boring otherwise. Okay, so I guess by keyframing and the whole rotation, that should be okay. Maybe not smart enough to understand why I could not only keyframe part of it. Transition is a bit tough actually here. So I'm gonna go here, keyframe the whole rotation, and then go to this one. This one seems okay. And I think it should be already keyframed. And this one, let's keyframe it. I think I missed it. I'm going to delete this one. Maybe I shouldn't have. Okay. So there might just be a weird thing in the transition here somehow. So what's happening? The pitch is changing just a little bit, but it's walling, I guess. Oh, the yaw is going crazy. Okay. So right now the yaw is at 180. And if I go here and make the yaw 180 as well, what happens? Wow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's strange. I wish I was. I don't know if it's a weird thing happening or if I'm just not smart enough to understand why. It's annoying. So let's keyframe this again. Then let's go to the next keyframe. No. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I disable auto keyframe. I go here. And I'm going to keyframe here. What happens now? So strange. Okay. So here we're on the left. Oh, I see. Let's go here and do a keyframe. And then delete the one on the right. Okay, it's a little strange still. But I guess it's good enough. Yeah. Okay, so the hope here, I want to start with a projector on the player on the left, slowly moving away, and then, yeah, very quickly. You know what? I think I want these guys to be more to the left, like here. Which means that we change pretty quickly. Yeah, that's more like it, I guess. Now let's see in real time. Oh shit, what do I do? Okay, I may have to move everything. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so let's add. Let's keep the keyframe in the same place. Maybe even a little bit more like this, and rotate keyframe. Okay. Now, yeah. So if I'm here, you can see the light. Now it's still rotating. Oh, that's ugly. Why? Maybe I want to duplicate these guys. Do I want to do that? Move them. It's not gonna work, I think. Okay, let me just delete. I'm sorry, this is so dumb. Okay, let's just start again from scratch. Let's delete these as well. Okay, that's silly. Okay, so we start here. I have my keyframe. Then when I move to more or less half, I want this to have moved a little bit. And let's put a keyframe now here. And then a little later, I want the light to be mostly on the other player. No keyframe. And then at the end, I'll make the keyframe, the angle just a little bit different, and keyframe this. Okay. Okay, that seems to be okay. No, it rotates. Okay. Well, What I'll do then, I'll go back to the center like this, and this one will also go to the center more or less. Why does it move like this? So strange. So the wall, the pitch should be the only thing moving, in theory, but so it goes from -50 to -90, and then yeah, couldn't we have like a positive value? What would happen? Can experiment here. What if it was +40? And this one here. I wonder if it's because pitch is only supposed to be good to go from 90. Yeah, okay. I think it's the way they interpret pitch in the game. It can only be, you can go all the way up, all the way down. Cannot really go in the back. That's my guess. So a pitch of 40 doesn't seem to work well, but what if I delete? Yeah, I'm not really making much progress here. Okay, so here, yeah, it's not liking it. So -50 to -90, and then 40, yeah. Okay, so, and let's say if I change this, yeah, that's the yaw. Okay. Okay, so let's keyframe this, keyframe it here again. Why is it 165 now? I want to stay at 180. Thank you very much. And then maybe the frame after, I want it to be at 0. So pitch goes from -50 to -90. And then let's go from -90 to, let's do -40. I thought I asked the yaw to be at 0. Oh, maybe not. Okay, it's 180 here. It should be 0 here. Okay. Gosh. Okay, so the transition we had to -90, -90. Okay. So here we have, let's align them. Should be the same frame. Okay. Let's duplicate. Okay. Sorry about that for being so clumsy. Okay. So what I want to do is keep a similar orientation, like to -60 maybe. and then very quickly change. So here my pitch is pointing all the way down, and I'm here, and then I want this new yaw to be the next frame, and the pitch here can be -90, and then very quickly I want the pitch to go up to -40. I thought I duplicated. Okay, so one of them can go all the way to the end, and the other one will come here. Okay. Oh my god. Something's wrong. Let's see. Where do I have? Okay, so here our pitch is going down to -90, all good. I don't see the point of having this duplication. What's important is the yaw, which goes from 180 to 0, and that should be happening in the middle, which is like 900. Pitch go from -90. Oops, here. Okay. I don't know why I have this one here, I don't need it. So I want the pitch to stay, yeah, it starts at -50, so here, let's make it -40. Wait, the opposite, -60, yep. So we start at -50, we go slowly to -60, then we go pretty fast should be oh yeah, next key, no, next keyframe. Where am I? What a mess. Okay, next keyframe. So right, so here I change my yaw from one frame to the next. Pitches quickly goes up to -40, which is, I think I wanted -60, and then by the end, I don't have another keyframe. Okay, by the end, -40, say -50. Okay, so what happens now? Quick change here. Okay, so it's kind of okay. So to see the light, white on white. Yeah, that will do for now. Okay, so now do I want the light? Let's see, am I happy with this? Let's pretend that yes. So this device will play the sequence. And so what I'm gonna want to do, let me also launch the session in advance because it takes a while. Is it in the queue manager? I guess so, yeah. So when I'm here, when I teleport, when I seat the players, I will want to turn on the light, start the sequence. And at the end of the 1 minute timer, turn off the light, basically, yeah. So, what's the name of the device? I forgot. So if I look for cinematic, okay, cinematic sequence device. So I'm gonna add this, editable cinematic. Sequence device. I'm going to compile so that I can go here. Actually, I want also the light, customizable light. Customizable light device. Okay. So I also want my light or spotlight. Let's put it spotlight. Customizable light device. Okay, so now I'm going to compile and connect cinematic to my cinematic player and the light here. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is, okay, joke timer starts, and maybe just before it starts, I'm gonna do cinematic dot start or play. What's the function? Play. Yeah. Okay. And also spotlight turn on. At the very beginning of the game, when we start the game, I'm gonna turn off the light. There's probably a different way to do it, but turn off. Okay. And at the end, joke started, eject. Okay, so when before the voting starts is when we'll turn off the light. Turn off. Okay. Okay. Fortnite is still loading. I'm gonna compile again. We have our devices set up. I have this. No autoplay. Okay. Okay, we'll see what happens. I just need this to load, so I'm gonna pause the video while it loads. Okay, it's loaded, and I brought my other laptop as well. So start game. So we kind of want to test a few things. We want to see some messaging when we queue up. We are now queued up, waiting for second player. Cool. If I try to vote, don't tell me you cannot vote at this time. Perfect. So I'm queued up. You are already queued up. Cool. So if I take the other player and go enter. Okay, so the light should be on me. That's not working somehow. Okay. So it seems like the sequence is not playing. I don't know why. Maybe because I need to push first changes, perhaps. Yeah, make the cinematic play here. So imagine it should work. Then recompile, push first changes, and see what happens. Gonna make the third player join the game. Okay. Okay, start. Okay, gonna have. Oh, it's showing the message for everybody. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Need to fix that. Yeah, we're not playing the cinematic. No good. Oh, okay. So for the HUD message devices, I think the settings are, yeah, message recipient all. It should be triggering player only. Okay. So I'm gonna take all of them and triggering player only. Okay, that should help. Now, why would this not play correctly? Because what this sequence does, yeah, looks like it should work. I'm gonna change the light color, make it like yellow or orange. And I'm gonna make it stronger if I can. More like intensity. Okay. Sure, let's make it cast shadow for now, make it easier to be seen. So I'm not sure why the sequence would not play. Because I'm asking here, where is it? This one, yeah. Okay, and the device is set to everyone. Pretty weird. Let me maybe add. I'm gonna animate a prop at the same time just to understand what's not working here. Prop, I don't know what to use. It's getting slow. Not what I meant to do. Okay, let's take a fairly small prop. Or whatever, let's take this, sure. And let's add it here. Let's add its transform, and let's just keyframe its transform here, and then when we're here, let's have it here and also rotate it like this. And yeah, transform is here. So okay, so now we have two things happening. Okay, so endgame, I'm gonna do push changes, which is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna pause the video for a moment. And it's done. So let's test again. I'm wondering if just the light, we'll see what happens. Okay, so now, yeah, the HUD message is only appearing for one player. That's good. So queue up. Okay. Wow. Okay, so the cinematic is not playing. Oh, it is. It is. Oh, it is working actually. That object is moving. And now let's see when we get to about 30 seconds. I forgot exactly when the light should move to the other player. Yep. Okay. Nice. Okay, so it is working. I have no idea why it was not working, and I checked that the light was movable, and it was. So now if I remove this, delete, okay, and delete this, okay. And if I start the game again, that's so strange. Oops. Yeah, so yeah, if I try to vote, the message is only showing on the other screen, so that's perfect. Now, okay, and the light is on the other player. Cool. Nice. So is that mission accomplished? I guess so. Okay. So yeah, if you want to play the game, go to Fortnite and search for joke competition. And what I will do now is gonna have to push changes again one more time, and then do a memory calculation, and then I will be able to publish that update, in which I added basically a little bit of UI. And maybe I should improve the UI. Right now it's just using the default behavior of a small white text with the default sound, the default like zoom and fade behavior. Not sure what would be. Maybe later I'll do another update to make it look nicer. But for now, yeah, we're gonna pause again for a sec. So I think it's done updating. But I realized there's one more thing I'd like to test actually. When I have 3 players, is to test that the queue position is correct. So I'm gonna have this one enter the queue, and the other one is gonna go enter the queue as well. And so while they're inside, it says okay, I'm queued up waiting for second player. I'm already queued up, which is when I press the second time. So I guess I would need even more players to test that. Because at the end of the 1 minute, I guess I will not be teleported automatically. I wanted to check to test what happens when you have, like, let's say 5 players and you get in queue and you're being told what your position in queue is. So I may have to fire up more devices to do that. So yeah, I guess I'll set that up. I have one even older laptop and a tablet that I'm gonna use for this. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so now is the voting period. I'm gonna vote for this one, and it's there. And I'm gonna have to check. It seems like maybe the whole team is getting the DXP, which is a bug as well. Now, if this guy goes in, yeah, it goes in. So the behavior seems good. So yeah, let me try to bring a few more players to test. When briefly, as I just mentioned, the XP seemed to be given to the whole team, to everybody basically. So I need to check this box here and do it on both accolades, triggering player only, so that only one player receives XP. Okay, so my old laptop with only 6 gigs of memory is not happy right now. So let's try to do it with 4 players. I have the tablet loading. Basically what I want to see is what happens when you try to get in queue. Weird. There was this okay, so this one is queued up. Then should I get the laptop? Or should I wait a second? Let's wait a sec. Okay, it's in the game now. Queue up. Okay. So now, if this one goes in, it says you are queued up now, waiting for second player. And if I join here, what? I'm not queued up. Okay. Okay, so I think we have a bug here. Oh, you are not queued up waiting for this one. Okay. There's probably something wrong here. Yeah, let's see if it's going to give us a message that we are next to go in. Not yet, maybe during the intermission probably. And here I can vote. And I can try to vote again. Okay. Okay. Now the other guys try to queue up. You are now queued up waiting for second player. And I'm going to try to get this one. Oops. It's not easy to control. Okay, queue up. It says you are already queued up. And then it says you are not queued up waiting for the next round, hold tight. Why does it say you are already queued up? I feel like this is, yeah. So somehow I'm getting that message to show. Oh yeah, already in queue, okay. Oh yeah, this code is wrong. It should only show if we're already. Okay. So yeah, when we press the queue up, we check are we already in the queue, and if so, then we should say we're already in the queue. Okay. So I messed up here. Right now we are showing this for every agent that was in the queue. That's not right. Okay. So I'm gonna compile. So I tried to fix the accolade stuff. And so what's happening here is that, yeah, we don't have a case. I want a case where the queue has already 2 players in and then another player wants to get in. That's why I need 5 players in the same game. Okay, but I think I fixed the accolade issue, I hope. I think I just fixed this tiny little bug with the HUD not showing at the right time. So I'm gonna do push changes and yeah, and I'll try to see if I can get a 5th device in. It'll take a moment. Okay, quite the mess, so I ended up using a NVIDIA cloud gaming account. So let's start the game, and I'm gonna try to have everybody else go first. Oh shit. Okay, now the tablet has disconnected. Okay, so I'm gonna let an old laptop go in and queue up. Then I'm gonna let the NVIDIA cloud account queue up. Then I'm gonna have my good laptop, if you will, queue up. You are now queued up, waiting for second player. And the queue up, you are now queued up, waiting for next round, hold tight. Cool. Okay, and now the tablet is here. And queue up. It says your position in the queue is 3. Okay. That works. So let's see what happens when the first 2 get ejected. On my tablet it should say something like you're the next one to go in or something. I'm not sure if I like these chickens. Okay, so we're voting. I voted for someone. Okay. Okay, yep, it says get ready, you are next in line. Okay. So let's take the NVIDIA vote and then queue up. Waiting for next round, hold tight. Tablet already queued up, and this one, the old laptop, queue up. Your position in the queue is 3. That's good. I assume the sequencer worked, but I'm not sure actually. Did it reset properly? I don't know. I should pay attention to that. Like, did the light start on the opponent? We should know that soon. In the meantime, I'm gonna make other players vote for me. Why not? And this guy will also vote. Okay. But he said you cannot vote twice. Probably used him. Okay. Okay, so the next ones, and the light is on the left side of the call. Okay, so who needs to queue up? Let's put laptop here. So you are now queued up, waiting for next round, hold tight. And which one is it? And my old laptop is also queued up, I believe. Yeah, you are already queued up. Okay, and so now if my main character queues up, the position in the queue is 3. Cool. Now the light has moved, so the sequencer, the cinematic is working fine. Cool. Yeah. I have no idea what this do. Okay. Look at the scores. Yeah, I have 2 points. Okay. According to mission, they've been kicked out. Now the next two are going in. Perfect. It's kind of sad that I cannot see like who I'm voting for. But as far as I know, you can only show your own name. It says queue up. You're not queued up, waiting for next round, hold tight. And the card gaming one, now the position in queue is 3. Seems to be working well. Yeah. So I guess I could just republish now. And everything is working. Oh, do I need to push changes? Maybe I changed something, I forgot. So I'm going to push changes and then do memory calculation and republish. And the update is done, so let's do memory calculation, version note, release candidate 3, upload. Last time it was pretty quick. Okay, and I guess we can show it in the portal, or I can just publish new release here. Oops. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, and let me see what has changed. I did some UI. What else? And a spotlight. Driven by animation sequence. Okay. I'm not gonna retake the questionnaire. I'm not gonna change anything else. I'm gonna ask to publish. And so my island code will stay the same, even though I'm just pushing a different private version into this public island code. So yeah, maybe now this is the end of this devlog. So yeah, again, don't hesitate to comment, ask me to go more in depth, and if you have specific requests, let me know, and maybe I'll do another one.